Hi besties, welcome back to my channel, or hi, my name is Stacy if you're new here. So today's video is super exciting because I wanted to share with you guys what I got during the Sephora VIB sale. Also, this bag is just a symbolic bag because I actually went multiple times, so not all the products fit in here. So if you want to get ready with me using some of the new products I got, then just keep on watching. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this because it really helps out my channel and it would really mean a lot to me. And let's just get right into the video. Okay, so I already did my base because I didn't buy any new base products, but I'll tell you guys what I used. So I used the new House Labs foundation. I have a review and wear test of this up on my channel, but basically this has been my newest favorite foundation. So I've been using this a lot. I feel like it's very not picky about like skin texture, so this is a good go-to like regardless of where your skin's at. I also use my Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. Ignore the mess because it gets really messy, but this has also been a long time favorite of mine. That's that for the base. I also have my brows done. Oh yeah, and I used my favorite powder, which is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder in the shade Cupcake. So now that that's out of the way, we can get into the more interesting things. Okay, so during this sale, I actually picked up 3 Tom Ford quads, which sounds like a lot, but I actually got this as like an early Christmas present because I wanted these for Christmas, but I thought I might as well get it on sale. And I'm also a newbie to Tom Ford. Like, I have only owned his honeymoon quad before because Tom Ford is definitely stupidly expensive. But anyways, I just wanted to treat myself, so I'll show you the 3 quads I got. Also, part of why I got these is because they're super trendy on Xiaohongshu, which is like Chinese Pinterest / Instagram. Like, all the girlies on there use Tom Ford, so I was influenced. I just want to show you guys the ones I got. So the first one I got is the shade Golden Mink. This is like a really pretty, slightly warmer neutral palette. So I actually thought it was gonna be really warm, but it ends up being more neutral warm, or it's not as warm as I thought it would be. And yeah, it has like 2 sparkly shimmers and then 2 more satiny mattes. That's super pretty. The only thing about these is they do look very luxe, but like the fingerprints on this are not very cute. I already used that one once just to try it out, as well as this one. So this one's in the shade 20 Disco Dust. It is also a really popular one. And this one's like a little bit more peachy. Well, actually it has both cool and warm tones, like because this glitter topper is cool, but then like these 2 shades are warm and then this is dark. Anyway, I like the composition though, because I feel like you have all the shades that you need for a really basic eye look. And then the last one I got is super pretty and right up my alley, and I haven't used this one yet, but this is the shade 30 Insolent Rose. So this is a super pretty rosy, cool tone, more mauve-y palette. Super gorgeous. I picked ones that I thought were good for like every day, and I feel like ones that I would actually reach for a lot. Yeah, but I haven't used this one yet. I might use this in a TikTok actually, but I'm not gonna use it today because the blushes I want to use are warmer. So I think for today's look, we're gonna stick with Golden Mink, which is actually the first one that I decided to buy, and then I bought the other 2 later in the sale. But yeah, I bought this one because this one has 2 glittery toppers. That's worth the money more for me because you guys know I love those glittery toppers, whereas the other ones only have 1 glittery topper, but that's fine. Like, those color stories are really pretty. So yeah, that was my thought process. But yeah, let me know what your favorite Tom Ford quad is. Also, let me know if there are like better Tom Ford sales. I like barely know anything about Tom Ford stuff. I know you can get some of his stuff at the cosmetic company store, but it's like at the outlets, which are like really far away, and I just don't be having time to go there. But just let me know if you guys know. So anyways, next up, I bought this Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. If you know, you know. Like, this is my favorite neutral palette at Sephora. Definitely out of the ones I've tried this year. And I want to say out of all the neutral palettes at Sephora, this is my favorite, but that might be too strong of a statement, so I'm not sure yet since I just got this. But yeah, this is like the perfect neutral palette for me personally. I also have a review of this up on my channel already, so I'm not gonna play with this today, but I have like a really detailed review with like swatches, comparisons, dupes, alternatives. Then the thing I bought on the last day of the Sephora sale is this Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. I know a lot of people already got this because like it was like coming out early in stores and whatever, so I'm kind of late to the party. And I still have to make my video like 3 looks 1 palette review on this, so definitely stay tuned for that. It's coming. I'm just a little bit slow, so thank you guys for your patience. But yeah, this will be coming in another dedicated video, so stay tuned. But anyways, back to getting ready. I think I'm gonna use this Tom Ford Golden Mink palette today, so I'm just gonna go into this taupey shade first. Both of the mattes in here are kind of satiny, so they're not really like true mattes, but it doesn't really bother me. Like, they're not super shiny, they're just really like natural and silky. So yeah, here's this taupey shade. You can see it's like very natural. It's quite light as well. So far from using my Tom Ford palettes, I feel like they are quite overpriced, but I feel like if it's something where, you know, you're trying to get that luxury experience, like I can see why people like it. Like, I like my Tom Ford palettes emotionally, but like the logical side is like, I don't think it's worth like the $90 per quad if you pay full price. Like even Pat McGrath isn't that outrageous. But I feel like I do see the appeal of these because it just has a look ready to go for you. Obviously it's a luxury product and you're paying for the name, but I do like that it kind of has like a built-in elegance to it. Like whenever you put on these eyeshadows to make a look, it's gonna give you like a very elegant, classy look, and I feel like it's not going to look too much. But also, since he does have these like glittery toppers, they still add enough glam, at least for me. Yeah, but definitely more on the soft glam side. Yeah, I just love that when I use these I feel very elegant, put together, you know what I mean? So anyway, that was the taupey shade and I just put that all over. That's a really good transition shade for my skin tone, but I feel like if you're deeper it's quite light. So I'm gonna go into this more bronzy coppery shade. So it looks like kind of orange in the pan, but it actually is relatively neutral. Let me just put it on my eyes. I think you can actually get a really similar look to this using the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions palette because he has those glitter toppers. The vibe is pretty similar. I've been really liking that palette as well. I recently like rediscovered it, but I do have to say these glitters are very pretty and like they're very fine and very sparkly, shimmery. But again, it's like not too over the top because with some other glitters you can definitely like look very glam and in your face, which you know sometimes you want, but then sometimes you want it to be more subtle. It's still very shiny and reflective, but without being too much. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to say about these Tom Ford quads is that I know a lot of people recommend his wet dry formula, which is why the first one I ever got was the honeymoon one, which to be honest was not the best decision for me because that one is a very like autumnal type of palette. I should break it out more right now because it's exactly those autumn tones, but I bought it because this other YouTuber recommended it a lot and because I heard the wet dry formula is good. But honestly, to me personally, I kind of like his regular formula better, like the quads that are like glitter toppers with mattes, because at least they have like these shimmery sparkly particles in them, whereas the wet dry formula is more like a smooth satin metallic. Although I think that might be better for mature eyes. But yeah, like I prefer these more glittery, shimmery shades. Also, they're not like a chunky glitter. Like you don't feel like any grittiness. It's like those micro shimmery particles that are like still smooth. Okay, and actually I'm gonna add a bit of this deepest shade. We're just gonna use that to deepen up. Oh, that was quite pigmented. I'm just gonna add some to this side. Okay, I used one dip for both outer corners because it's actually quite deep. And yeah, since this brown is actually more neutral, or like it's kind of like a cocoa shade, like a deep cocoa, it definitely cools down the look a lot. Just blending out the edges. I'm gonna add the tiniest bit to the bottom. Okay, and then lastly, I'm gonna go into this golden champagne shimmery shade. I'm gonna put that on the center. Okay, after using this palette more, I do think that this palette is actually a lot cooler than the Patrick Ta one. Like the Patrick Ta has a lot more warm tones and they actually like pull warm. Whereas you can see that the palette looked pretty warm in the pan, but on my eyes, it's like quite neutral. And I do feel like that's part of the elegance of Tom Ford. Like I'm pretty sure this is one of his most popular quads, which I can see why. Now I'm just gonna go into the golden shade and use that as my inner corner highlight, as well as bottom lash line. Okay, and then lastly, just going back into the deepest shade and gonna lightly line my eyes with that. Yeah, this deepest shade is actually not a true matte, but since it is so deep, it essentially acts like a matte. Okay, now I'm just gonna put on some mascara. I'm gonna curl my lashes. First I give it a good curl with my big lash curler, and then I use this tiny one, also from Shiseido, and I link everything down in the description as usual. Specifically, I use this to get the inner and outer corner lashes because those never curl with a regular lash curler for me. So if I don't want random straight lashes, I have to use this tiny one. Okay, and then the mascara I've recently been really into is this Kiss Your Eyes one from AMTS. That's the brand, it's like a K-beauty brand, and they're sold on Amazon. This is also linked down below, but this is the one I've been using in my recent videos. If you're curious, it's always linked in the description. But yeah, this one is super good at holding a curl like most Asian mascaras are, but I do feel like this gives a little bit more volume than a lot of Asian mascaras, so I've been really liking this one. Okay, so this is after 2 coats of that AMTS mascara. I usually do 2 coats with Asian mascaras just because I feel like they don't give me enough volume with one, and I do like a little bit more volume. I like to have like this false lash effect. So, but these are my natural lashes with mascara. But anyways, this is what the final eye look is looking like. So I love that it gave me a quite neutral eye look. I don't know if this is going to show up super well, but I wanted to show you guys what it looks like in low light because it has like this sparkly effect. I feel like with the bright lights, you can't really see. Hopefully you guys can see that it has this twinkly effect with my lights all super dark. Okay, so anyways, now for blush. The blush I bought during the sale is this Laura Mercier Fresco, which is like a nudie blush, and it's a little bit, it's more satiny, and actually like it has noticeable glitter in it. I don't know if you guys can see that. Not the biggest fan of that. But on the cheeks, I don't really notice the glitter, but I also don't know if it's dependent on the lighting. Like, I'm sure if you were like out in super bright sunlight, you could probably see glitter. In most regular settings, I don't see the glitter. But yeah, this Fresco shade is really popular with a bunch of YouTubers. So let me just show you guys. Actually, what made me buy this was State of Kate here on YouTube. If you guys follow her, she's a smaller channel as well. So it's supposed to be like a pretty neutral shade, but on me it definitely pulls warm, but that's just because things tend to pull warm on me. So it's like a warm nude. I will say I feel like it pulls warmer than I would have expected. Like, it looks pretty neutral, but on my skin it turns a little bit orange. You can see how it's giving me a slight glow, hopefully. Like, there's some sheen here versus this side. So I love that because I love powder blushes that aren't like a flat matte. I mean, I love matte blushes too for a certain look, but I feel like my favorite type of powder blush is more satiny, sheeny, you know? This is also quite pigmented, quite buildable. I don't have to tap my brush in too much to get this payoff. That definitely is like pulling everything together. I was looking kind of unwell before the blush. That's just because I needed some color to my face. And yeah, this blush is giving it. It's definitely like a bronzer type of blush. Could be a bronzer color kind of, but it's a little bit too rosy orange for that. But yeah, and when I look up close to my skin in this lighting, I don't see any glitter particles. But I do feel like if you're in direct sunlight, you probably will see glitter because, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's definitely quite like obviously glittery in the pan. So I don't really know what's up with that. I'm not really sure how it doesn't really show up on the cheeks, or at least not that I can see in this lighting. So this is the one I picked up during the sale. It's very pretty. It's like a milk tea colored blush. I wouldn't say it's revolutionary. I feel like there are other similar blushes, but I am kind of slowly collecting my Laura Mercier blushes. Since they're quite old, they're not really like the talk of the town these days, but I feel like they're a classic formula, so I kind of like collecting them during the sale. Anyway, I also wanted to show you guys that I got these RMS beauty blushes. So I didn't actually buy these during the sale. I bought these like maybe a couple weeks before the sale, but I haven't talked about these on my channel. And I do want to say that these are quite amazing. I have it in the shade French Rosé, which is like the shimmery pink, as well as this shade called Maiden's Blush, which is more of a bronzy color. Again, quite shimmery, sheeny, you can see that reflection. These are amazing. Like, I really like these. As I said before, I like those satiny blushes. I'd say these are more luminous, so they're a little bit more glowy than satiny, like kind of giving M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow vibes. But I do think that these are more finely milled in the shimmer than the M Cosmetics ones. Like, I don't know, on the skin, it's just kind of undetectable shimmer. Like, I can't notice any particles. But these are so, so pretty. I also don't think they super emphasize texture, like, for being a shimmery blush. So even though I technically didn't get this during the sale, I just wanted to show you guys. It's also a more recent purchase for me. So I'm gonna go in with this Maiden's blush shade. I'm just gonna add some. This is also quite pigmented, whereas like a lot of glowy blushes tend to be less pigmented. So yeah, I don't know, it's just a really great formula, and I feel like more people need to be talking about this. I mean, I have heard some YouTubers talk about it, and I think there was some hype on TikTok, but specifically this French Rosé shade I think is the most popular. It's like a really nice pink. And also, I feel like this is a good dupe for the Haus Labs Rose Quartz one. I think that's what it's called. She has like a pink highlighter that looks basically like this, but I think it's like $10 more expensive. So this is like a cheaper version of that. And I heard that it's more pigmented. So if you've been wanting that Haus Labs one, that one went viral on TikTok. I really like this one, although I haven't tried the Haus Labs one, so I can't say which one's better, but I'm really satisfied with just having this one, the French Rosé one. I feel like these deserve more hype, so I'm just here to let you know that these are actually amazing. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it added this glow. So it looks like I have a cream on my face, but there's no creams, and it definitely did not emphasize texture, so that's like quite amazing to me because it's not glowy enough to emphasize texture, but just adding this beautiful sheen. So it's quite amazing that like this powder can mimic a cream, but still gonna like last like a powder. So I don't know, I'm quite amazed by that. So I just wanted to show you guys, these are really good blush toppers, like how I used it today, but you can also use it by itself. Like, I've used them by themselves, and they're pigmented enough to do that, which is great, because sometimes these luminous types of blushes are only good as a blush topper. You can see it's giving me this bronzy glow. But yeah, Maiden's blush and Fresco are definitely in the same color family. I will say I think Maiden's blush is a little bit more rosy. Like you can kind of see how Fresco is a little bit more orange. But yeah, I've been loving those blushes. Okay, now on to the last step of lips. This might come as a shocker to you guys, but I've never owned the Charlotte Tilbury Pillowtalk lip liner. So I decided to finally pick it up during this sale. So this is her lip cheat in the shade Pillowtalk. It's just kind of amazing that I've never used this, but it's like super famous. I love her lip liner in Iconic Nude. It's like the one I basically use in all my videos. If you know, you know. So let me remove this lip treatment. This is the Tower 28 Gloss in Pistachio. I always kind of use it as a lip treatment. So I'm back with no lip product on, and I'm just gonna line my lips using Charlotte Tilbury Pillowtalk. So this one is a lot pinker and rosier than Iconic Nude. Like you can see it's pinker than my natural lip color. But I do think if you naturally have more pigmented lips, it'll probably be more similar to your lip color. Also, I'm gonna fill in my lips a little bit with this color because I didn't buy any new lipsticks. But I did buy some new glosses, so I'll show you guys. And yeah, these Charlotte Tilbury lip liners are quite long lasting, like they set down. Okay, and now for lip gloss. So I bought this Tower 28 holiday set. Excited for this bronzy shade, like this bronzy shimmery shade. It looks gorgeous. So this is their Dreamy Gleamy duo. And it's a holiday set that came out. So you can see the two glosses here. This one's an older shade called Coconut, which is like a really rosy pink. And this looks great on its own. And Tower 28 has one of my favorite lip gloss formulas of all time. Like it's just super hydrating and not sticky. Just really comfortable. I also feel like they have the perfect amount of pigment because I do like something that gives my lips a little bit more pigment. Some lip glosses are like way too sheer and don't add anything. And as you saw earlier, like I have a pretty pale lip color. So I do like a tint that actually like is a tint, but it's not too much to where it's like opaque and like weird looking. Okay, but this is the shade I'm gonna try today, which is the shade Dream. And is this not literally gorgeous? Like it's like this bronzy rose gold shimmery shade. So I haven't tried this yet and I'm really excited because I wanted to try it on camera for the first time. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yep, that is as beautiful as I expected. Like you guys can see that, right? Stunning. Like I love glittery shimmery lip glosses. I even love ones that are like a little bit frosty, and like I feel like this is kind of giving that to me. Also, do you see how that literally made my lips look twice their original size? Like hello. This definitely has like a finer shimmer. I feel like I can't see super obvious like glitter specks, but like there definitely is like a glittery metallic component to it. I love it. It's like such a beautiful rose gold color. This is a win. It's too bad that it only comes like in this set and it's like limited edition. We'll see if they like make this permanent or not. I don't know, because sometimes brands say it's gonna be limited edition and then it's not later. So, but they should definitely make this permanent. Like, is this not the prettiest shade? And it's also perfect for the holidays. Like it's definitely giving festive vibe. It just looks angelic. Okay, now I'm just gonna set with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is the one I always use, but it's not new. Yeah, so here we have the final look. What do we think? There's like definitely a pretty bronzy, soft glam look. It's also perfect for holidays. And yeah, that's about it for today. I love everything I hauled this time. Definitely make sure to stay tuned for my Natasha Denona Retro Glam review coming up next. And I hope you guys enjoyed getting ready with me today. Let me know what you guys picked up during the Sephora VIB sale. I want to know. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and comment and subscribe down below if you want to see more content like this, because it really helps out my channel and it would really mean a lot to me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.